How does that
No,
look?
I'm not saying that. You get some sense that there's a handful of stocks.
Look at that. I mean, you could tie that to the market. Bang.
Hey, bro, 6 p.m., Reach TV, you and I. Check out this koozie I got at the garden the other night.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you, a jacuzzi you got at the garden? They give those away
Dude,
now? What?
they don't get. So that's the thing. First of all, they don't give them away. And I bet you don't know how to spell koozie. And it's not like Bob koozie. So this is a koozie for my 24-ounce beer, right? And yet when I bought it, I didn't know I bought it, right? In other words, like I thought they had the beer slipped into it, and my beer was $26, and I thought it was like, yeah, that's really cool. And so basically I bought the koozie, and dude, I feel like I got taken at the garden. Now it's a great koozie, and it's a king can koozie. In other words, by the way, you can't get a normal beer at a sporting event anymore. Have you noticed that? You can't just get it. How about a 12-ouncer? I mean, no, you're signing up for the full program, and I got a koozie whether I wanted it or not.
So that's like the Foster's, that oil can. If you were to get one of those things, that's what you would put that in, that, what you call it, quasi, that you put it in that thing, right?
The quasi. Don't play dumb with me on the koozie.
No, I know. I don't. Honestly, I'm not. No. I've never.
By the way,
used one of
Foster's
those things.
Foster's way overrated beer, and Men at Work and Midnight Oil and all these bands that we suddenly I like our friends from down under, but Foster's is a very average beer. But look,
is that why you have the Men at Work guys behind you? That's why or that's Midnight Oil. No, that's Midnight Oil. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, that's no. In fact, it's the koozie caper that the reason I brought up Rob and Fab, and that's Milli Vanilli. And by the way, I think it's kind of this week. Let's go back to, I think it was 1990 that these guys had their Grammy stripped after. You know the Milli Vanilli story. They were lip syncing. They weren't who they were supposed to be, buddy. And that's no good in the world of music. It's no good in the world of markets. But I know you're a big Milli Vanilli fan, so
I have all their work. I found them to be sort of ahead of their time. I'm sorry to hear that they were lip syncing their songs. I really didn't know that, but it turns out they were, I guess, the French word.
Baby. Sorry.
Impostor, right? They were imposters. So I guess
think
that
Rob
leads us to. No, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I think Rob was actually French, and I think Fab was German, or the other way around. Like they're one of those duos that I don't really know who was who. That's like Crockett and Tubbs, or I don't know.
Hall and Oates.
Yeah, I know.
It's so funny. I could never. I knew obviously I could tell them apart, but I didn't know which was which name wise.
So look, Milli Vanilli, let's just, for the record, they were stripped of their Grammy because they were lip syncing and they were deemed a fraud. Now, if you think about if Milli Vanilli was doing that today, I actually think that would vault them to the top of the charts. I think they'd be on TikTok. They'd have 30 million followers. And I wonder whether we shouldn't be giving them back their award at this point. But I don't know.
I'm assuming both Fab and what was the other cat's name?
Rob Pilates.
Rob Pilates. By the way, Pilates, if you're watching this on the Reach TV network, if you don't feel like you're in shape, if you have back pain, Pilates are the cure-all. I encourage you all to go to your local Pilates studio.
So you're now like into yoga? Is that what you're doing? You're putting on like your Lululemons and you're going tree pose? I'm not buying it.
I don't know where you heard the word yoga. I said Pilates. It's a much different thing. Pilates, where you're working on your core strength. Everything comes from the core. So perhaps, if you want to be a better singer or a better drummer for your band, none the wiser, perhaps you should incorporate Pilates into your routine.
The Wiser's got a gig at the Bitter End on December 6th, by the way. So I hope you're going to be there. And, if you're not in your Pilates class. So Rob and Fab frauds, let's find our market connection. And I'll tell you, it's not difficult. If you think about the market that we've been in, where liquidity's running amok, where the Reddit crowd, the Reddit apes, the retail community have been on fire.
The obvious ones would be both AMC and GameStop. GameStop was the original meme stock. I guess it started almost a year ago. Stock that was basically mired in a year-long slump, not unlike your New York Mets. and then found itself vaulted to the top of the standings.
We're in November, pal. There's no season's over, and I realize it's been a difficult week. And Thor just signed with the Angels for 21 million after he pitched 2 innings in 2 years. But baseball season's over, pal. And I did.
You know what? And you palled me. You know what I found the most interesting thing about the Thor signing with the Angels is he didn't give the Mets a look. In other words, he got that offer from the Angels. He didn't go back to the Mets, Gary Cohen or Steve Cohen or somebody, and say, listen, I just got this offer. You willing to match it or better it? He said, no, see ya later. What does that say just quickly about the franchise that plays their home games in Flushing?
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, his name is Stevie Cohen. We have the deepest pockets in baseball right now, maybe sports. And Gary Cohen is maybe the best announcer in the game. And once again, the Mets booth is the best booth in the game. So, leaving that all aside, I think, and by the way, I'm not sure that the Mets needed a right of first refusal for the Yankees to sign our castaway manager as your third base coach, because your third base coach of the last couple of years seemed to like to send guys on a routine grounder up the middle when they get thrown out by, a country mile. But I don't even know how we started talking about this. I think we started talking about the Reddit crowd and the stocks that don't appear what they are. And you mentioned AMC and GameStop. I don't think so. I think those are market dynamics in the new age of the retail investor who somehow has found some side of identification with these companies.
Would I be able to implement that short trading strategy that you just talked about in terms of the New York Mets and their total wins for next year? Because I would love just to lay a short position out.
What are you going with?
I think given what I've seen in this offseason, the Mets are lucky if they're an 85-win team. So I would be under 85. I would be a yes seller all the way down to maybe 83.
Look, I'll take the over. It's not a bad number, and at this point, with our 77 wins or something like that last year, you're talking about an 8-game improvement, and that's not a bad thing. I think if you're talking about an 8-point improvement in some of these stocks, I think a lot of these names like GameStop and AMC that were boosted by this rabid retail community have seen their best days. In fact, I'm a seller of a lot of these stocks that have no fundamental value. I'm a little worried right now in markets about the liquidity that has names in, say, the EV space. Like Rivian's not a fraud. Rivian's, in fact, fantastic technology. But should this stock be trading before they've effectively delivered 20,000 cars or trucks? I think investors right now need to be really, really cautious because money is flying around. The Federal Reserve has lit a fire under this market. And there's a lot of names in gaming and in EV and in all kinds of exotic areas, crypto, NFTs. I'm going to just watch out for Rob and Fab. They're out there.
I would submit that if Milli Vanilli announced a reunion tour at Madison Square Garden, they would sell out for 3 nights in about 15 minutes. That's the world we live in.
Now, if there was a band from 1990 that you'd reluctantly admit to the folks here at Reach TV that you were listening to and possibly dancing around your room in some spandex pants, who would that be?
Spandau Ballet.
So true. Funny how it seems. Always in time, guy. We are out of time. I'll see you at 6 p.m. Reach TV tomorrow night.
That's Tim Seymour. I'm Guy Adami. We are...
Commercial break.